Happy December! It is technically already into December, it really is, and it'll be more into December by the time you're seeing this video. I'm Morgan. If this happens to be your first time here, I'm happy you're here. I hope you enjoy it. You're gonna maybe read some of the books I am too, and we can talk about them together. There's only 2 books for my for sure TBR, and the rest of the video will be an MBR of things that may or may not end up happening, as well as a special announcement at the end of the video, so stay tuned. The first of the TBR is going to be Midnight in Everwood by M.A. Kuzinar. I hope I said that right. This is a twist on the Nutcracker, which I have already made it most of the way through this book. And even from the beginning, I was starting to wonder myself if I remembered the original Nutcracker or if I'd ever actually... I know I don't think I've read it, but I'm pretty sure that I've seen one of the adaptations, and I think I've even seen the ballet. And yet, there are pieces obviously missing, or it's just very differently, loosely done here. I don't know. This one follows Marietta, though. She is a baron's daughter who lives for ballet. She's been doing ballet since she was very young, but has an agreement with her parents that when she turns 21, she will give up ballet and fulfill her duties and become married to somebody. Prospects are still, being looked at, which she really doesn't want to do. She just wants to dance. Enter in Dr. Dorsal. I even listened to the audiobook. Why can't I say his name? And events unfold. At first, he's charming. He's a toy maker. And somehow, though, I don't remember what was in the description. I really don't remember the description. But she ends up in the magical land of Everwood and its enchantments and all the things and trials and tribulations she must go through, and the opportunity to dance, as she's always wanted to dance in her prima ballerina role. Okay, and the other one, shouldn't spend too much. Wind and Truth by Brandon Sanderson comes out this Friday, December 6th, that day. If it's past that point in time, December 6th, I'm going to be starting it that day. For sure. This is book 5 in the Stormlight Archive. It will end the arc that we are at and have been building to in this section of the Cosmere epicness of scale. And I'm getting nervous. I wonder if I should have, okay, my book stack is a little messed up. In all honesty, this is the second time that I filmed this because I accidentally wiped a chunk of mascara on my face during the first filming. And there was another video I filmed after that also will have to be redone. Yay me. I wonder if I have enough time to read this before Wind and Truth. Probably not. I mean, even doing the audiobook. Because I have already read it. So this would be a reread, just like the rest of Stormlight. But he said to read this before that one, so I wonder. I don't think it's entirely necessary. But my brain keeps wanting to. But time. I don't think there's time. Okay. So those are the only 2 that I for sure have to read. And since it took me about 10 days with each of the other Stormlight books, that'll push me into mid-December, which Lightfall kicks off on the 13th, I think. Hold on. I can click the thing. And find out. It has a date on the Notion tracker. Yes, it kicks off on the 13th. Cool. Go back to my December TBR page. Okay. I have been figuring out the Notion, and I think I've gotten it mostly to where I like it now. Yeah, there's more things I want to be able to have, but I don't yet. But I can do this. Okay, I picked out a book for every single shop at the Old Favor Pass, which for Lightfall, it is a season of gift giving, so there is this cute little area created full of shops, and each shop has a different reading prompt. And of course, none of this is mandatory. This is just for fun one. But I picked out a book, and we will see which ones we actually feel like during this 9-day period. First up, though, is the Owl Cat Craft Cafe. And this is to read a cozy book. So I picked the next one is, I say the next one like you know what I'm talking about. Christmas at the Borough Bookshop. I think I wrote the title wrong. Christmas at the Borough Bookshop bookstore, but it's very long, by Callie Dunbar. It's the next one in the series where vacationers get to spend a fortnight running their own bookshop on this cute little coastal town. I think it's outside of Devonshire, England. And it was, the first one was a contemporary romance. This one I'm sure was similar, but I have no idea about the characters. It just was adorable, and you're running your own little bookshop, and so it's adorable. Maybe. Occult Premonitions is in the future/alternate world. This is a carryover from my November TBR because I didn't get to read it, and that would be Long Live Evil by Sarah Reese Brennan. In this one, we are following a character from our world who, as she's dying, is offered the opportunity to go into the world of her favorite story. And she does, except when she awakens, she is not a hero, but a villainess. And she must go from there, and it just sounds so good, and I have been wanting to read it. And I've been completely ignoring most of what everybody else is saying as they read it, because it's like, I just want to read it. I don't want to be jaded. Next would be The Old Tales Bookstore, and this is a book you still need to read this year. For this one, I picked Vilest Things by Chloe Gong. Vilest Things by Chloe Gong. That's it. This is the sequel to Immortal Longings, which is somewhere up there, which I really liked. I found it very interesting. Major Hunger Games vibes. In fact, it made me go reread the Hunger Games after that. And I want to continue and see how it plays off the cliffhanger and the world building. Because in one of the interviews she did for the book is she wants to build this into an epic world like epic fantasy. So she's slowly laying out the world building. So I am here for it. Next would be Wallace's Wonderful Winter Wanimals, and this is Aurora colors. So your greens, I think the purples and oranges. No, it was greens and oranges, but in the book I picked it as green. So, Long Past Dues by James Shea Butcher. This is another sequel in the Unorthodox Chronicles, I think, following Grimsby. The first book was Dead Man's Hand. I actually had to stand up and look at it. The first book was Dead Man's Hand. I did a review for it. I found it hilarious, and I still have not read the sequel. And the next book comes out early next year, I think. So yeah, I want to get to this one too. Fingers crossed. Another one, this will probably be one that I do try to prioritize because it takes place at Yule, which is why I didn't read it when it came out. It is Smith and Friends and Sons, Arcane Goods and Such. Winter/elements on the cover. And this would be The Wedding Witch by Aaron Sterling, following another of the Penhollow brothers that started in the X-Hex and then the Kiss Curse. But this one takes place at Yule time and also not in Graves Glen. Then there is Shank and Shaw Legitimate Retailers, a book that'll give you chills. For this, I picked a thriller, which is The Last House by Melissa Larson. This is following a woman who returns to her family home in Iceland to solve a series of unsolved murders that I think took place at the house and maybe clear her family's name or just answer a family mystery. Questionable. And the final store prompt is actually The Rich Pigeon Pub. So just a pub to hang out and have fun. And a book with 2 or more authors. So I figured another would, even though we have some romance, this one's a different kind of romance. This is like a spicy kind of romance. Holly Jolly Ever After by Julia Murphy and Sierra Simone. It's the next one following A Merry Little Meet Cute. Is that the name of it? And it's following another one of the boy band members. Like the first book had the bad boy of a boy band, but it's been like 10, 15 years. So they're like in their 30s. As he's trying to rebrand his image with like a Hallmark Channel-ish movie, except they're called the Hope Channel. And this is following another one of the band members, is what I've come to understand. And then there's this third book, I think, following the other band member. Is there only going to be 3 books then? Because there's only 3 members in the band? It's just like, is there only going to be 3 books in the Graves Glen series because there's only 3 brothers? Who could say? That is actually not all. There's still 3 more books on the list of hopefuls, which of course any of the ones from Lightfall could still carry over after the end of Lightfall. I could still choose to read them, they'd just not be part of that. But the first one would be How My Neighbor Stole Christmas by Megan Quinn. This is supposed to be a grumpy sunshine where he's Mr. Grumpy doesn't want anything to do with Christmas, and then she moves in next door to care for her aunt, I think it was, and she's all about Christmas, and I think she enters her aunt's house in some sort of decorating contest, and somehow his house gets roped in, or it's a whole thing that I don't really remember, but it sounded kind of like, you know, the Christmas cutesy thing when I first heard about it, so I was like, yeah, why not? Let's do this. Maybe next year we'll come out with a Christmas to read list. The next book would be The Trial of the Sun Queen by Nisha J. Tooley. This is a completed romantasy series, and the first book starts off with a competition, which I kind of like that aspect I find in books. She was captured by the Aurora King and tortured for years and years, and then she's released, and she is entered into a competition to become the wife of the Sun King. But she's not even from that kingdom, so she doesn't know how she's in that competition or why she's in that competition, just that it means freedom and she might be able to get her revenge. And then I guess feelings? I found out about it on the last book, and I'm like, interesting. And several people have told me, yes, it's really good. So, might be worth checking it out. And the last one is going to be The Last Night by Spencer Russell Smith. I can speak. This one is a post-apocalyptic sci fantasy where the world is dying and we have a group of rebels fighting against the God Kings. I read the overall series description and thought it sounded awesome. So we were nice enough to be granted a audiobook of the prequel novella. And I'm going to try it. And it was supposed to also happen in November, kind of like the other ones. There's a few of them from November that have rolled over to our December. It's a very long list of possibilities. And between all of the MBRs and our 2 TBRs, the page count still somehow might be similar. We recently hit 1,000 subscribers. Like, oh my gosh, thank you all so much for being here to watch me talk about the books that I love, or babble on about even the ones that we don't so much, that we don't do in the reviews, and adding more books to our TBRs every week. That's a super realistic goal. Just thank you all so much for being here, and as a huge thank you for that, and because it is the holiday season, so it's a time for gifts, I'm giving one lucky person a $100 gift card to either Amazon or Waterstones, so you can order your books and they will be shipped internationally from whichever retailer you so choose. To enter, make sure that you're subscribed, and also comment down below which book is the one you're prioritizing the most for the end of the year. Make sure you put a snowman emoji though, so I know that you're entering the giveaway and not just commenting which books you want to read in December. For an extra entry, you can follow me over on Instagram and comment on the picture I should be putting up the same day as this video probably. Throw your snowman up over there as well, and that way you'll get an extra entry to the giveaway. I would love to know though what you're reading in December, regardless of whether you're entering the giveaway. And if you're reading anything the same as me, you can always join me on Discord to talk about books over there. I hope you're having a fantastic day, finding something great to read, and I'll see you in the next one.